EA Sports coverage of the National Football League finds us a dozen miles east of the National Mall at the home of the Commanders here in Landover, Maryland. Now, here comes a return from the 9. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. He'll go right and find his running back. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started. Really nice timing on that slant route. You can tell the quarterback and the wide receiver are completely on the same page, and when executed at that level, it's virtually impossible to stop.
They go 5 receivers for 3rd down and 4. He'll drop to throw. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender. Against zone defense, like we saw here, it's a lot more simpler. Understand the concept of the play, understand where the holes in the defense are, and get there and be friendly to the quarterback. And if you're open, stay open. That's NFL route running. That's what the best guys do.
Off the RPO, this one to McLaurin. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard. They'll try to get the running game going. His first carry. And he'll get 4 on this one. Down inside the 40-yard line now. Seventh play of this opening drive. And here's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast, and tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey, all game long today, you better defend every blade of grass because we're coming out firing. And even though that ball falls incomplete, it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds.
Trying for the old school coffin corner. That's pretty close out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 5-yard line. Well done. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. They'll run for the first time with their fullback. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And he's going to be brought down up past the 20.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
Here's a first carry for their running back. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down. He completes it to Marshall. And he's going to be marked down up around the 33.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
They'll look to throw here on first down. To the outside, that's caught by Hill. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
To the left side, he's got Komet. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allow the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
He runs with it. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line.
They got to do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
They'll go with the counter on first down. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's second down. Back to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Got to get it to the 30. Here comes third down. They'll throw out of the gun. And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
And that's going to work out well. Out of bounds, and they mark it inside the 5-yard line. The Commanders' offense ready to see the football for the second time. They'll start from their own 4. Not a lot of room for error back here. It's 1st and 10. 3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. This drive will start on the ground. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Now they'll set up to throw. He'll get this out wide. And he's going to get this up to the 22-yard line.
Well, sometimes as a play caller, it's pretty easy. Get the ball into the hands of your best players. In this case, a wide receiver screen. Get it to him quick, get some blockers out in front, let him do the rest after the catch, and he picks up the first down.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. What more could you ask for on first down? Nice run of 8, setting up 2nd and short. And he's going to get the first down. He is up past the 35-yard line.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Second and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got McLaurin. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll come up now for second down and 4. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a loss of a yard here.
This is what every defense in the league is shooting for, Mike. Negative plays. That's how you kill drives. Force teams to play from behind the sticks. Great job here, taking them down for a loss.
Here's a third down and 4. He'll try to run for it.
Great reaction by the defense. At first, Mike, it looked like there was enough room out there for the quarterback to pick this one up himself, but they were able to rally to the ball, and I think the officials are going to mark him just short.
Here's Tress Way now, and he'll be looking for something a little better than that first effort, which he shanked. The Bears offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. Lone back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Here's 2nd and 6. Throw left side, but that's going to be incomplete.
This is why it's so critical that the quarterback and his intended target are on the same page. They got to speak the same language. When there's miscommunication, it leads to errant throws, and when errant throws lead to big missed opportunities.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. He's got the hook up there to Odunze. And he's going to have the first down. So they convert on 3rd down with a pickup of 9.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the first down.
So a big 3rd down hookup takes us to the break. 0-0 is the score. More after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, it's 1st and 10. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. On play action, he'll set up to throw. He'll take off again. You can't beat a running quarterback. Gain of 16 and a first down.
Mike, this is the element to the position that this guy brings that's just so unique across the league. Not only the speed, but his ability to operate in the open field as a runner. It is hard for a defense to plan for a guy like this.
He'll try the right side this time, and he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. They'll stick with him again. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard, but that's it. Here comes 3rd and 6. And that is incomplete.
Back in the day, Mike, you know how they decided who played offense and who played defense? The guys who caught the ball better played offense, and the guys who couldn't play defense. And now, that's obviously not the case anymore. But this is one of those that still gives defensive players a bad rap.
On 4th down, it's Cairo Santos on for the Bears field goal. His kick is good. And the Bears will take a 3-0 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here comes a return from the 3. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Here comes the Washington offense now. They get set to take over. The offense is a little slow to start percolating. 3-0 the score as they begin this drive with a 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
Here in the first half, we've seen nothing but connections from these two guys. I mean, they've come out completely on fire. So the defense finally gets a stop, and really the first time we've seen these guys be a little bit off.
Back to the air once more on 2nd down. Oh, trying to set up the screen, but that is going to fall incomplete.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
And that is incomplete.
Not exactly the type of drive to write home about, Mike. 3 passes, 3 incompletions, no yards gained. And I really can't blame any of these fans who have continued to voice their frustration, especially after that last series of play calls.
On comes the punter now, as he's on to punt for Washington. This returnable from inside his own 40. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Bears offense ready to get back at it. They'll look to build on their 3-0 lead as this drive starts with a 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. That's a short throw caught by Komet.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but 1st down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable 2nd down.
They face 2nd down and 7. Now a give on the ground. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And he'll be stopped short of a 1st down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough 3rd down situation, and now it brings up 4th down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
The Commanders' offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now from the gun. And that ball incomplete over the middle.
I like the idea of using the passing game to try to give your offense a little breathing room. You find yourself in the shadow of your own goalpost, Mike. Worst case scenario, you do not want to punt out of your own end zone. So I like the idea of trying to pick up some positive gains through the air, but they've got to come up with some completions and try to pick up at least one first down, or you're going to put your defense in a tough spot. Well, not exactly a highlight reel type play, but in some cases, just checking the ball down to your fullback, picking up some positive yards is the only play that's to be made.
What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? Blitz coming. He'll throw it. They'll try to set up the screen here. Can't ask for much more. On the screen, they gain 19 yards and a 1st down.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win, and that's exactly what he did here.
And he finds some daylight. Up past the 35-yard line, a pickup of 7. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete. Terry McLaurin, the intended target on that one. 3rd down coming up.
This is teach tape for man defense, Mike. I mean, he is not looking back at the quarterback at all. He is in the hip pocket of his receiver. He's staying in phase and in rhythm. And then he knows when the wide receiver's hands go up, attack the ball. And that's about as good as it gets.
13 yards on the catch there. 1st down, Washington.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
Quick throw, taken in, and he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
Nice job there, getting the ball to your slot receiver and then letting him get to work. It's a nice feeling as a quarterback when you can just have a short throw, still result in a big game.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on 1st down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the 1st down here? Or is the idea to just make 3rd down manageable and take your chances picking up a key 3rd down?
The throw to the right flat. It is caught. A very nice open field tackle there. He could not get free and gains nothing.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback, understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver, who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
He's going to be brought down very... Dan Quinn wants a second opinion here, and he has thrown the challenge flag.
This is a really popular concept on 3rd down. It's good versus man, it's good versus zone. They call it mesh routes or drag routes. They want to create some traffic in the middle of the field and pop the receiver out the backside of the defense. But give credit to the defense. They were ready for it, They rally to the ball and keeps him short from picking up the first down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Now, faking the give. A throw on the move is caught. And they'll mark him down up beyond the 30.
This is a tale as old as time, Mike. It seems that anytime a team forces a takeaway, fumble, or interception, the ensuing drive starts with a shot, a deep play in the air to try to seize on some of that momentum. We just saw a great example of it here.
He'll get this out to his running back.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
Here's a toss, right side. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
That's fielded at about the 18. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Commanders' offense ready to see what they can do. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Quick throw here is complete. And that's a 1st down. It will be a gain of 8.
Just take what the defense is giving you. When you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch and catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game, now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
From the shotgun, it's a give up the middle. Not much there, maybe a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And he's going to be taken down as we hit the 2-minute warning here in this first half. They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down. That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. A gain of 16 yards. Good for a Commander's 1st down.
And that's an important conversion, not only because it keeps their offense on the field, and now they can go down and see if they can steal some late points, but either way, worst case scenario, Mike, if you're the offense here, you want to possess the ball going into halftime. Don't give your opponent a chance to go down and score on you. So big pickup there. Now we'll see if they can turn it into some points.
That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate. So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. It'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Here's a 3rd down and 4. And this throw out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I like the idea of taking your shot there on 3rd down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown. But now as it brings up 4th down, you're already this close. You're in field goal range, but do you keep that offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6?
No issues there. This one is good. And the Commanders will tie the game at 3 apiece.
And that's really well done here, Mike. I mean, everything's in rhythm. A good snap, a good hold, and a good kick ties this game.
Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The Bears offense going to see what they can do in the final minute of this first half. They'll set out in search of a first touchdown in this game. Just a pair of field goals to show. It's 3-3 as they start 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's close to a first down to gain a 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down. The Bears offense going to get it one final time in this first half. They'll work in a tie game here in the 2nd quarter and get started with 1st and 10. Second and a yard. Back to throw. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
At this level, you just would expect a little bit better execution and accuracy on those intermediate throws. I think he had an opportunity there for a nice pickup. Off target, off rhythm, and ends up getting away from him.
He'll try and throw for it on 3rd and 1. And it looks like he's going to have a first down. Nothing fancy there. Short completion, but it yields a fresh set of downs. Back to the air one more time. He's got his man on the in route. Yes, take it in over the middle. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. They'll look to throw again. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
I know this play results in an incomplete pass, but I think this is a really good job by the quarterback. His clock was going off. He felt that rush. He had no immediate target to go to with the ball. Instead, throw it away. Don't take the sack. Live for another day.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down. So, just a pair of field goals in that first half. It is 3-3 at the break. As we'll head down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. A low-scoring game, all tied. Third quarter, and a touchdown here could go a long way. See if they can get it on this drive. 1st and 10. Now off the bootleg, he'll look to throw here. The throw on the run is complete. Handoff here, up the middle. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line.
2nd and short. Normally, this is a great time, Mike, to put the ball in the air and try to press the ball downfield. But in this case, they keep it on the ground. Has a similar effect. They pick up a good gain and a first down.
We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground. A hit, and he has lost the football. But this is taken in by a teammate.
These are the opportunities that just kill defensive coordinators. You got the ball loose. You did everything you want. But now you got to recover it. You need better pursuit to the ball, more bodies around the ball carrier. Because when that ball pops out, you've got to be on it. These opportunities don't come around often, and when they do, you got to seize the moment.
This one into the hands of Marshall. They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. And he's going to have a Bears first down. They're able to convert by plenty on that 3rd and 1.
Really just the same approach that an offense would take on a quarterback sneak, Mike. You don't necessarily have to spring them for a huge gain. Can you buy just enough space up front to pick up 1 yard? That's exactly what they did. Pick up the first down.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is going to be stuffed well behind the line of scrimmage. That play going absolutely nowhere.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
It's first down, and they'll run. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Now they'll set up to throw. He completes it to Marshall. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down.
Doesn't get much better than that. Had he gotten there just a little bit earlier, he probably draws the flag a little late, and it's probably a touchdown.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Bears will take a 6-3 lead.
Job number one on this drive, find a way to get the lead. They, of course, would have loved to score a touchdown, Mike, but 3 points here, that's a pretty good consolation prize as it moves them out in front.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Here we go on the return from the 1. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Commanders' offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold him to just a short gain.
Here's a 2nd and 9. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line.
You can see this connection is just starting really to pick up. They're seeing the game through the same set of eyes, and that is the job of the receiver. What is my quarterback expecting from me? Where does he want me? Be there on time, and it leads to big gains like this.
A handoff as they try to run it here. And that'll be a pickup of 3. Second and 7. The motion man here is McLaurin. Now a give up the middle. He'll manage only about 3, so it will bring up 3rd down. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
And he's brought down after 8 down. On play action, he'll set up to throw. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And they're going to take this into the red zone to the 15-yard line.
Points have certainly been hard to come by in this one today, Mike, but it seems like this drive has been what they've been searching for. A little bit of rhythm, the ability to sustain. Now they got to finish. Now they got to capitalize on these 1st downs and go finish with 6.
In the red zone now, he'll drop to throw. This is caught at the 2. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
This has been a really good drive so far, but what I really like, Mike, is they're down here in the red zone and they continue to attack. Now, not quite a touchdown, but with 1st and goal, this defense certainly has their back against the ropes.
They'll try to run this one in. No, he's not going to get in. In fact, they've shoved him backwards.
It's one thing if you don't get the ball in the end zone, but it's another to lose this many yards. And I think now for this offense and this play caller, they've got to reevaluate their approach down here in tight.
Now back at the 4 for 2nd and goal. Moss in motion. That's to the end zone, but they can't connect. It's incomplete.
So instead of celebrating a touchdown, he's just heading back to his huddle trying to keep his head up as everyone kind of looks at him sideways. If that ball hits your hands at this level, you've just got to make the catch. That's what your quarterback's counting on. That's what your teammates are counting on. Frankly, that's what this entire stadium is counting on.
And he'll get this inside the 5, but no further. Great job by the defense. It sets up 4th down.
What a nice play defensively. It's always a bit of a challenge. How long do I stay in coverage defending my zone or my man? Or how fast do I come up and pursue a scrambling quarterback? They did a nice job rallying to the ball late. They're able to bring him down to force 4th down.
3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Commanders will tie the game at 6.
So touchdowns are always the primary goal of every drive. But when you find yourself down 3 here in the second half, you've just got to find a way to tie the game up. And they were able to do that here.
All square now at 6 aside as the ball's back in the air again. Going to return this from the 10. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. And this throw batted away and incomplete.
It's his ability to change direction. He's able to go from his back pedal to then driving that route fast enough that he gets to the ball immediately as it arrives, and he's able to knock it down.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's a run up the gut. And he'll be tackled up around the 45-yard line.
Really nice job by the interior of this offensive line. It typically just takes one guy to distort the defense to give the back enough room to operate, and that's exactly what they did here, and it led to a big gain.
Here's 1st and 10. Well, they weren't going to get him the second time with the same back. Defense all over that one. They stop him for no gain.
Running back looked a little unsure of himself on that carry there, Mike. You have to think back to that fumble earlier in the game. How much is that still weighing on his mind? He didn't really seem to attack that hole like we've seen in the past. He gets stopped for no gain.
On 2nd and 10, they'll try to throw. And he'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Here now, 3rd and 5. From the 50, he'll set up to throw. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down. Rome Odunze, the one he was looking for. And that'll set up 4th down.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
The home team's offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll start out 1st down and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. He keeps it himself. And he'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line. 13 yards to start that drive. And a quick first down. So, points at a premium. Defensive battle so far as we are through 3. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So, from the 36, it is 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. There he goes again. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the first down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
So, a pair of first downs moves him out to the 47-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. Here's a 2nd and 6. Up the middle they go. And he'll get this ahead. Gain of about 4, and it leads to 3rd down. They send him right out of the slot. They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. And he's got nowhere to go. The defensive front controlling the line of scrimmage there. And that is going to bring up 4th down.
Patience is a great quality of a running back. You have to wait for holes and gaps to develop. But in this case, Mike, he just kept waiting, and nothing ended up happening. No gain.
And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The visitors' offense ready to take over once more. We're all even. 4th quarter, so every drive so important at this stage. And they'll start with 1st and 10. His drive will start on the ground. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Now, faking the give. Got a man open downfield on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick, because that ball is coming out.
And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. They'll look to throw.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
The crowd making their presence felt. This is 3rd down. Trying to pick this one up on the ground. And it looks like he's going to have that first down. He will, not by a whole lot, but he's got it enough. And they convert on 3rd down. Now this time they'll look to throw. To the left side, in the hands of Hill.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. He'll get this one out to his fullback. He'll try to use that size to push forward, but it's not going to work. Defense strong up front, and they're going to get him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Really nice job defensively. They were all over that from the jump. Initially, I thought he was going to break away and pick up something positive, but at the end of it all, he ended up going backwards.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short. A gain of 17 to the 17-yard line.
You get in these situations, 3rd down, tie game, 4th quarter. I mean, this is really where your quarterback makes his money. You are going to put your faith and say, all right, what is the best play for this offense to execute? And the game really rests in the hands of your quarterback. And if he continues to come up with these 3rd down pickups and continues to extend this drive, he's got a shot to come away the hero and win this game here late. That play had sack written all over it, so that's a great job by the quarterback, not only escaping the initial pressure, even though he doesn't gain a whole lot, he's able to pick up some positive yards for what looked like a disaster in the start.
2nd down and 8. He'll drop to throw. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. But he can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way. And this has been such a tight game, but that's a big one right there. I mean, you need a kicker with confidence. Well, this guy, he fits the bill. He steps up and knocks it through to give his guys a lead here in the 4th quarter.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The home team's offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now he'll run it. And he's got it to the 35-yard line.
When you're game planning during the week for a mobile quarterback like this, on every down, you have to have somebody to account for him. You can see why here. He's able to escape the pocket, turn into a runner, and he can take every play and make it a big play.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
It's always a risky decision anytime a quarterback tries to force the ball, especially into those tightly contested areas. Not a lot of daylight, not a lot of room for error. In this case, it just falls simply as an incomplete. But as this game unfolds, better decisions are going to lead to better results.
A nice pickup moving it across the 40. We'll give him 6 on that play. play coming up. This is third down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the fourth quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it.
The Commanders about to send this one away. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the fourth quarter. The visitors' offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff running right. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. They face 2nd down and 7. They'll stick with him again. And they're going to mark him down up past the 35.
Fourth quarter, you find yourself protecting a one-possession lead. It's a fine line, Mike, between do I keep the ball on the ground, continue to work the clock, or stay aggressive, try to extend this lead to a multiple possession game. That's the balance this play caller is dealing with right now.
Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short gain.
This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They'll throw out of the gun. Short pass taken in by the tight end.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
The Bears sending out their punt team as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a fourth quarter lead. That is fielded at the 13. And he'll get a few yards back here on the return before being forced out of bounds. The Commanders' offense ready to take over once again. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. That's into traffic, but taken in. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's 2nd down and 3. They'll drop to throw. A throw on the move is caught. And he'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line.
All right, this is a good start. Plays like these are definitely going to help as you work your way into scoring range. While you have to be wary of the clock and keep an eye on it, they should have plenty of time here to finish this drive.
To the air now on 1st and 10.
All right, so this is why you get paid the big bucks. These are the possessions as a quarterback you need to deliver for your team. Everybody talks about 2-minute. Everybody drills it every single week. But when it comes down to this moment in the game, your quarterback needs to be on point. And after that first down incompletion, it just makes things that much harder.
Back to the air one more time. Now pass deep for McLaurin. And he will score. Terry McLaurin, touchdown Commanders. Point after, coming up here. He's got it. And the Commanders have taken a 4-point advantage. So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. From the 6, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Bears offense make their way out to take over once more. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. This one into the hands of Marshall.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
2nd and 6 coming up. He'll look to throw. A quick slant caught by Hill. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9. Now they'll set up to throw. He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. The Commanders come up with it. And he is going to bring this one back. It is a fumble recovery for a defensive touchdown. And a terrific play for the defense to come up with the score that, Greg, extends their lead and really hurts the offense's. And now the referee looks like he has gotten word from replay. They're going to stop the game inside the last 2 minutes. All replays emanate from there. Here's 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. He's going to tuck it and go. And they get him to the ground, but he's all the way down to the 35-yard line. This offense still has the 1 timeout to use. 1st and 10 coming up now. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. That's over the middle and taken in by Odunze. The Bears go ahead, take their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Throwing now from the gun. That is caught. And this is a touchdown. They were not going to be denied, and they have taken the lead here in the final minute of play.
This game has certainly not been for the faint of heart, Mike. I mean, we've been riding the ups and downs the entire time, but what a job by this offense. Game on the line to find a way to score and take the lead with very little time remaining.
Down to the final few seconds of this one as the kick is away. This will be returned from the 2. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. Here comes the Washington offense now. They get set to take over. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Here we go. One final play. Here's a ball thrown deep right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. The defense holds here in the final minute. And they're going to get out of here with a victory. So this one, a win for the visiting Bears. They knew this would be a dogfight away from home, and they were right. But they come away with a hard-fought victory. And that'll do it. For my partner, Greg Olson, for our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.